Hi, I'm Donna Barnett, the Ripley County Public Administrator, and I'm Republican.
I'm Mary Dean Gray. I'm a Democrat from Doniphan, Missouri.
I'm Kelsey Johnson. I am a Republican and I'm from Doniphan, Missouri as well.
Thank you all. I'll start here and then go to you, and you'll get two in a row, and we'll just work back and forth like that, okay?
Sure.
All right. Ms. Barnett. Over the years, there has been an increase in the caseload for the public administrator. Should some of these consumers be released from the system? And how do you plan to budget continued care for these consumers with the potential budget decreases based on the last reported county census?
I would recommend that we continue doing what we're doing, but we also have to evaluate the rehab. We have a severe drug issue, which is causing more mental health issues because sometimes the parents have had drug issues, which then you have babies being born with them as well. And then whenever we go from there, we also end up having their schizophrenia and paranoia. So unfortunately, the system is not providing the main care for an 18-year-old that is born with a meth addiction or anything like that. So what we need to do is we need to focus more money into getting rehab for young people and paying more attention to what they are doing. And that way we can actually find facilities for these people as well, because I can't place an 18-year-old in a nursing home because of his behaviors and his drug addictions, and he runs away. Whenever you're dealing with elderly people in there with dementia, that's not a good combination. But that's what the system is allowing us to do right now.
Thank you.
Question again?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Gray, over the years, there has been an increase in caseload for the public administrator. Should some of these consumers be released from the system, and how do you plan to budget continued care for these consumers with the potential budget decreases based on the last reported county census?
Well, as you well know, the government has closed down several main facilities, inpatient facilities, mental health facilities that should have stayed open. That's why we see a lot of these kids, adults, that are on the streets. That's why the caseload has gone up. So we need to figure out a better way to teach our people that there are resources out there for these people. We need an educated person in there to determine, is this person ready to be released back into society? You know, I've been in the field of rehabilitation for 40 years, so I guess I should know. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Do you need any questions? Okay. All right, Ms. Johnson. Over the years, there has been an increase in the caseload for the public administrator. Should some of these consumers be released from the system? And how do you plan to budget continued care for these consumers with the potential budget decreases based on the last reported county census?
First off, they do need more care centers around and stuff like that. They also need support, and you could look into helping them more and be there for them, listen to their, if they have problems and stuff, and support them for one, and make sure that they do get the care they need and continue, and then look and see if they can be released from the system and go from there.
Thank you. We'll start with you on this question. Ms. Johnson, please explain the role of the public administrator, and what do you see as this position's top priorities?
The role of a public administrator is the guardianship and conservatorship over the ones who deem themselves vulnerable to, that can't help themselves and need to be there for them and go from there.
Thank you. Ms. Gray?
The conservatorship is for the person or for the disabled person. But when you talk about disabled person, you're talking about the whole person, not just their disability. You're talking about social, you're talking about environmental, you're talking about spiritual, you're talking about their medical needs, you're talking about family needs. What is everything that encompasses that individual? The rest of the question.
If you could explain the role of the public administrator.
The public administrator should be able to oversee that individual's care and ensure that they get the best possible care that you are able to determine. And I feel with my education, my experience with working with every disability that there is, that I am well qualified for this position.
Thank you. Ms. Barnett?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, ma'am. Please explain the role of the public administrator and what do you see as this position's top priorities?
The role of the public administrator is to take over the guardianship and conservatorship. The guardianships, first of all, is actually overseeing someone's well-being, their mental health, their medical health, and making sure that their everyday living is being taken care of and their daily needs, whether that be placing them in a facility or living in their own home. Conservatorship is actually the fiduciary duties of taking care of someone's financial needs. If somebody cannot take care of those needs, you actually make sure that you have the bills are paid for them, and you have to find out where their bank accounts are, and you do everything that you can to help them financially to be able to live and provide for themselves for the rest of their life, or however long that you are taking care of them. The role of the public administrator also, to better help for them, would be to allow your person to be placed in the best individualized environment that is best suited for their needs based on their evaluations. You take them to the doctor, you get a total evaluation on their mental health or whatever their quality of health is. If you need to have skilled nursing centers, you take them there. If you need more mental health, or if there's directed for drug-induced or just simply paranoia, schizophrenia, things like that, then you can find those facilities that are based on rehabs. And you also have FCC, community counseling centers, all of those places which are counseling centers that also provide rehab services.
I got to listen to the
Thank you. Ms. Barnett, the county receives money through the opioid lawsuits against large pharmaceutical companies to combat drug abuse in our community and providing education and care for those who suffer from addiction. What would be your plan to utilize this money to battle the opioid addiction in our community?
I think it would be a great way to actually, people that are in my care who actually simply have either an alcohol addiction or drug addiction, it would be good to have an advocate for them, like there's a victim's advocate for the prosecutor's office. And then what you actually could do is that person could just be directed to dealing with those people's needs and placing them and making sure that they're doing all right. That way they are actually not taking away from me from taking care of somebody who actually has medical conditions and dementia or other needs that the elderly and things like that would be needing to be taken care of.
Thank you. Ms. Gray?
Education regarding drug addiction should start at home. Then it should be addressed in our school system. Believe me, it happens. I play a lot my flute in the high school, grade school band, and I see it when I'm there. So I really think the school system needs somebody, somewhere, to go in and talk to these kids about the dangers of drugs, because I don't see that happening. There needs to be education about meth. I see pictures all the time of before and after, these folks that use methamphetamines. It's horrendous. It should really, really start at home. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson?
So we do need more education for kids, but we also need it for the adults. I mean, it's not just kids that have the drug problems, alcohol problems, and stuff like that. So we would need to, like they said, educate and make sure that we give them the help that they need, like centers and stuff to be able to go to and be able to help them and work in the field as well.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson, a public administrator is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do you intend to meet these requirements if elected? And in your opinion, how do you handle these requirements and still make time to care for yourself and your family?
So we can make sure that we have there for them 24/7. We'll have to answer calls and be there and go and meet their needs, be them, support them. But also you have office help to help take some of those calls and stuff like that as well. And keep your office staff aware, and then have family time as needed.
Thank you. Ms. Green?
I'll tell you a little story. When I was working in Jonesboro, I worked for Abilities Unlimited, which is a sheltered workshop. I was over the group home and the independent living facility. We had house parents that I supervised. I get a call in the middle of the night, and the director said, "Mary, our house parents have upped and left." So guess who had to go and stay 2 weeks with the clients? Yours truly. So I understand the need for someone to be on call for 24 hours. I understand the need to go out in the middle of the night to check on someone, to help someone. I've had my daughter and myself go out, and someone had fallen out of their wheelchair, and we had to go and help him up and put him back into his wheelchair. So I am prepared, my family's prepared, my mother is prepared, and she is alive. According to the Prospect News, she was dead, but no, she is alive and sitting back there in the back.
Thank you, Ms. Gray. Ms. Barnett? Yes, ma'am. A public administrator is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do you intend to meet those time requirements if elected? And in your opinion, how do you handle these time requirements and still make time to care for yourself and your family?
As I've been doing for the last 4 years, I've actually given out my cell phone. It's actually even on my business card. I do have office help in my office now, and believe me, it's a great help, but at 2 a.m. in the morning, it's my phone number that they call, because I'm the only one that has the ability with my letters of guardianship in order to sit there and give consent to treat or surgeries or whatever else the needs are. And it's not just the hospitals that you're getting phone calls from. You will receive phone calls from the city police. You'll receive phone calls from the sheriff's office. I have sat in the hospital ER for 3 or 4 hours until 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning and went to court at 9 a.m. So you deal with what you have to do. Your family has to be very supportive of that. And whenever you do have time off, you take advantage of that time and you spend it with them.
Thank you. Ms. Barnett, what motivated you to run for this office?
I grew up in Ripley County. I care about the people. I grew up with parents who were paralyzed, or a grandparent that was paralyzed. And I also grew up with parents who brought my grandparents into our home, and we took care of them. Whenever I had children of my own, one of them actually had Asperger's and ADHD. So in order to keep him mainstreamed, I hired extra tutors. We did everything that we could, put him on a special diet, made sure that everything was good. And that way he's actually a very well-rounded, working, productive citizen today. Instead of being in a facility or a home or anything like that, we made sure that he could do that. But I love working with people. I love helping people. The only problem that I have with my job right now is that there's 95 of them and only one of me. So I love giving back. Today was a great day. I got to restore one. And I've been working with her since she was 18 years old. And whenever I received her, I bless her heart, she was just not in the best way. But since then, one of my requirements for my young people especially, she actually graduated from high school. She has 2 years sobriety, and then she also has made an 82 on her testing scores for a CNA. And I'm pretty sure that she will not be offended if I let everyone know she's actually enrolled in the August term of nursing school as well. So today we restored her back to her living, but we want to be sure that she's skilled enough to take care of herself.
Thank you. Ms. Gray?
Well, I have been in private health care for the last, I would say, 7 years. And my last client, who I cherished and loved and took care of, passed away just recently. And it broke my heart. It truly, truly did. I needed to take a respite. But now I'm ready to go back to work. I'm ready to use my degrees to the best of my ability to serve Ripley County citizens that need someone to be an advocate for them.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson?
I have been a lifetime devoted to helping others. That's what led me to the public administrator role. I am constantly determined and committed to making Ripley County better and be there for the people of our county who need us the most. My dedication is rooted in the principles of Psalms 82:3, which defends the lowly and fearfulest, reminder of justice and to the afflicted and the needy, and which urged me into supporting the vulnerable and uphold the cause of the disadvantaged.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson, what does the future of Ripley County look like to you?
The future of Ripley County is to help others make this a better place for the ones that need it most, who can't help themselves, make sure that it's a good, safe, stable place for them to live in.
Thank you. Ms. Gray?
Number one, I would like to see our school teachers paid more money. Absolutely. That's what needs to be done. I mean, I hear it from the school teachers at the high school all the time. You know, number two, this office needs more visibility. A good friend of mine asked me, well, Mary, what are you running for? I said, public administrator. What is that? So I think, you know, this office needs more visibility.
Thank you. Ms. Barnett?
I see Ripley County growing, and I also see more education towards getting more education for the youth as far as maybe going into the schools. I've been participating with CIT, which is Crisis Intervention Team. I'm also helping with other things, and I have a mental health first aid responders. The key is starting with our youth and educating through the school systems and building it up, and then we can actually go into the community and ensure that with our parents and parenting skills and things like that, and help everyone come together better.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your candidates for public administrator.